Hey guys, it's Don here from the board, and today we are attending the Sydney Mechanical Keyboard Meetup at the New South Wales Teachers Federation Building 2019. So we're here at the actual venue, Teachers Federation House, and let's walk on in. So we've got a fantastic sign over here that's nice and big and bright that lets everybody know where we're heading. And we're in the Heritage Room today. And as you can see, we're well into setup and preparation. So we got a registration desk happening here, posters happening on the wall, people are in and starting to set up. Really big, nice projector screen. We've got some virtual reality happening actually this year. So Jono has actually brought a really cool setup. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to get smacked by Jono. Not quite sure what is...
you're like off the back of the back. Like
checking out something down there for the whole PC. This year we've been really lucky to be sponsored again by Shopping Express. So the chaps from that are starting to set up their store. Now we come across to our prize table. We can see that we've got some stuff from Pimp My Keyboards, which is really cool. We've got some artisans from ArtKey. We've got stuff from Bagnuthu caps. We've got Rama stuff. We've got stuff from Juju, Kibio. We've got stuff from Ducky. We've got Aegis up here available. We've got some stuff from Canon Keys. We've got some GMK sets, Vortex keyboards. Got some Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Looks like we've got some Halo switches, and of course we've got some sourdough bread freshly baked from my own kitchen. So looks like everything's going to be getting into full swing very, very shortly, and we'll hop into that once everything starts happening. So the meetup right now is in full swing. We can see that it's getting a lot of people happening. Starting to, there's a massive queue that's gone around the corner now for the actual tickets for the raffle that's happening shortly, as well as registration and picking up the commemorative Rama Works design / produced keycap. We've got a lot of new and old people around. I'm actually pretty lucky today because I'm sitting next to Low-Key Keyboards. Say hi, Tam.
Hi.
So he's actually been a new sort of person in the space, right?
Very new. Only under 2 months now.
2 months?
Yeah.
And he's come up from Melbourne to be part of this, which is really fantastic, and he does like laser cut designs and whatnot, so we're pretty lucky to have him here. Yeah. And yeah, so we've got a number of people who are enjoying the grab bag rummage as well. So yeah, we'll check back in maybe towards the middle of the meet. Alright, so we're progressing. The line is kind of dwindling now, but it is packed in here.
Like 4 times more people there.
It's pretty solid, and you know, we've even got some of the little ones getting involved in rummaging around and finding keycaps for people. So I would say this year's meet has definitely been very, very successful. Right, so the last 3 clips that you would have seen actually came from yesterday when it was the 2019 Sydney Mechanical Keyboard Meetup. I didn't get to film anymore because it was actually really busy at my table where I had been trying to talk to people, meet people, offload some snag pads, as well as the fact that I had a mini grab bag type of situation going where I essentially unsorted all of the grab bags that I'd previously opened into a big tub and offered people to be able to rummage around and either pick out caps or go via scoops. I must say, out of all of the people who actually came through the meet, I think only 4 people were game enough to go with the scoop method. One gentleman, he was carrying a very small child in one arm and had another child on tow, and he was just like, I got no time to rummage, just fill up a bag for me. I got, you know, $20, whatever it was, and we just went for it. So scooped in, and hopefully, sir, you were having a good time picking through those keycaps. But I do want to say a massive thank you to Ryan from Austere Keyboards as well as Mendez from TaeKeyboards and Laser Ninja from Laser Ninja for actually hosting the event. It was really fantastic. The venue, as you would have seen in those clips, was absolutely packed. It was just jam-packed full of people having a good time. We had so many prizes, heaps and heaps and heaps of prizes. It took ages to actually go through the raffle for those, and poor Ryan actually ended up with quite a sore throat from yelling over the crowd to get the raffles going. But that said, I just want to show you my haul from yesterday, which incidentally was quite entertaining for me because I hadn't anticipated to win anything, and I had only bought one thing, which was the memento from the actual meet. So let's just switch over to the desktop and check it out. So these are actually the three things that I came home with. As part of fundraising to support the meet, we actually had a Ranma Works produced keycap with the Sydney Opera House as the sales of the actual Opera House in sort of the typical PV keycaps that you get from Ranma Works. It's really nice, quite lovely, and as you can see, I actually haven't even opened it until now. I've only looked through it through the plastic, and let's see how the focus. There we go. Look at that. So it's quite nice. So not quite sure where I'm going to put that, and you can see it's got the Ranma on the back of it, Sydney 19. So that was an absolute beauty. Thank you very much to Ryan for organising those. Certainly very, very high end. Although I think the actual bag that it came in is a bit overkill for the size of the keycap. But during the raffle, I was actually really lucky because we had a maximum of being able to buy 6 tickets. And this was an after effect from a couple of years ago where somebody essentially financed the entire raffle, an event, and won like half the prizes. So for fairness, all of our meetups afterwards have always had limits in the number of raffle tickets. Quite legendary in its own right, that story. But I actually ended up winning this Keychron K2 compact wireless mechanical keyboard, as you can see here, and courtesy of Daily Clack, I also won some Symbiosis Alphas SAs. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with these on that spec, but with the Keychron, this is even more special. So this actually comes courtesy of TaeKeyboards, who is probably one of the most well-known mechanical keyboard YouTubers out there, especially for the Australian scene. And what makes this even more special is it's actually been customized by Mendez himself. So he's taken the time, he's reviewed this board, but he's actually completely customized it for the Australian scene because he's done the green and gold. And that's actually, I think, the same color scheme as our last Olympics team wore. Yeah, and you can actually see the etching and the legends of that. But what makes this even more cool is it's autographed by the man himself. So I kind of feel bad that I actually won this, because a board like this, especially because it's autographed by somebody such as well-known and famous as Mendez, shouldn't be sitting with me when I'm like 20 minutes drive from the guy and I can go and hassle him anytime I want and probably get him to sign stuff. You can see my wife here in the background is just cracking up because of how funny that actually is. So my intent here is I will do a review of this when I have time. I do have some pre-recorded content and things like that for products from Banggood and so on and so forth and other projects. I will get to this and I will review it for the keyboard as it is, less so about the color scheme and Andrew's signature on the back there. But what I want to do with this, and I know it's kind of a funny one because I did technically win it, and if I am going to give it away, I'm actually going to sign it as well. So I think I'm going to invite someone here. I don't know what yet, and then I'll sign it. Hopefully it doesn't actually degrade its value. It's going to add value to it because now it's been double whammied by the Australian mechanical keyboard community. Big dog and little dog. And then we'll give it away. So hopefully that will happen at some point in the near future. So it was a good time. It was a very long day. I had to contend with transport problems because we had track work on the Sydney train network, so I had to switch trains and then do a bit of walking and wait around. I left home about 10 a.m. to get to the meet, and I didn't get home till just after 7 p.m. So it was a very long day for me, and I was on my feet for a lot of that as well. So very successful meet. I think Ryan and Mendez from TaeKeyboards and Laser Ninja did an absolutely fantastic job in setting it up, and the venue was really great. It was a perfect size for the meet this time round. Wasn't too big, wasn't too small, and the air conditioning actually worked. Probably want to be thinking about probably getting a PA system or microphone happening so people aren't going to be yelling and losing their voice. And as a bit of a lark, I'd actually bake some sourdough, which if you're on the Australian Discord, you'd probably see that all the time. And if you follow my personal Instagram, you'd see all my baking adventures as well. So hopefully those people who got my sourdough at least found it edible, if not palatable. Shall we say that? Alrighty-o. So thanks very much for checking out the video. I hope those 3 quick clips gave you a sense of what our meetup was like. I didn't really get to check out the boards and whatnot, but there will be other albums, and there will probably be a video by TaeKeyboards on his channel that will get in a little bit more depth on the keyboards and what was happening on the meet as well. So thank you very much for checking out this video. Please, of course, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Share it for those if you know somebody who wanted to come along and didn't get to, or people who might be interested in mechanical keyboards in the Sydney area for future meetups as well. With that, I'm gonna go. So as always, until next time, happy clacking.